And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and I want y'all to understand this. It's only great entertainment when you forget it's entertainment.
The ultimate betrayal, 50 Cent versus Big Meech, part 2. Welcome, everybody. Listen. I think we've been getting played, y'all. We've been getting played. Oh my God. I can't believe I didn't recognize this before. We getting played. I'm going to explain what I'm talking about here in a little bit. But you guys, 50 asked who Tammy Cohen was, right? Now, I personally did a video on Tammy Cohen 3 months ago. Mickey Truth did one almost a year ago. Since 2015, Cuffy has been saying who Tammy White was. 50 has been known who she was. He did business with her anyways. He actually had just leaked a phone call that he had with her.
It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It really is, but I agree. So, we'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
Yeah,
and I'm only going to stick to the truth and keep it pushing, right?
That's it. That's all it is.
I agree. It's unfortunate, right?
Yeah.
It really is, but I agree. So, we'll just let it be told when the story gets told.
Yeah,
and I'm only going to stick to the truth and keep it pushing, right?
That's it. That's all it is.
All right, so that was 50 Cent on the phone with a known rat. But he's calling Meech a rat for working with her. He's working with her knowing. Meech did not know at first. There is actual proof that he did not know at first. It's in court documents. Now, I don't know if there's like a statute of limitations on that kind of stuff, but if she comes out and says that she lied in federal court, then she might be looking at some kind of legal thing. If she because in federal court, she said that Meech knew nothing about it. Meech did set her up with Cuffy and Suarez because she was handling business for Meech. But she ran interference with Meech when it came to the DEA. Because the DEA wanted Meech. He was already locked up. They wanted to tack on more time to him. You get it now? That's why she went to Louisiana when she found out that Cuffy was going to find out it was her in the paperwork. That's why she went to Louisiana. They have a record of the conversation of where she explained to Meech what she did. And Meech had no choice but to say, I don't want my name in this. He had to keep dealing with her because she owned all his rights. Right? He didn't get out early. He didn't get no kind of time cuts except for the sentencing guideline change. That's the only time cut he got. Well, I think it shaved off like 3 years. Oh, I'm sorry. And the drug rehab thing. He got a year off for that. So he got 4 years shaved off. Come on. You still got to do 2 in a halfway house, not 6 months like Wax said. 2 years in a halfway house. So next, we're going to look at a video that I did 3 months ago. And it's Cuffy talking about Tammy Cohen.
This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. To block this call, you may begin speaking now.
I don't know Terry White personally. A lot of my friends, a good friend of mine by the name of Kenny from Atlanta, one of the first guys who introduced us to Atlanta, me and Meech and Auntie, Kenny Miles, good friend of his. Terry White became something of interest to us because when we got the profile of the, let me start that back over. When you have an accuser as a CI, a confidential source, as in Tammy Cohen, they have to give you her whole profile, who she previously cooperated against.
Oh,
And this is how the name Terry White came about. So after I made a few phone calls around Atlanta, I found out that he was a player out of Atlanta, money getting nigga. As it concerns her, he was, to my understanding, it's an old game that niggas run in real estate. Like I said, I flip houses my whole life, so I know all the tricks of the trade. But so what guys would do is get young ladies to purchase a home with the promise that he's going to put a tenant in it. He's going to put a tenant in the house to pay the note.
Okay.
In return for the young lady buying the house, which will be overpriced. Eventually, homes. What usually happens, those properties goes into foreclosure. So what happened with her was she did the deal with him, which is illegal. This is illegal to do. Where she was promised something like $20,000. So I guess she got her money, but she was looking for a relationship with this guy, Terry White. She came to Terry. This is where she testified in open court. She came to Terry White's home, and he had another young lady there. And Terry just told her, "Get the fuck on. This is my woman here." And she picked up the phone and called the FBI, and that's what happened.
And she cooperated against him.
Against Terry White, yeah.
That's not verbatim what she said in court. Basically, she never said what their relationship was. But Terry White first said that she was his girlfriend. And then he later said that they were just friends.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And so she wasn't in any trouble again. The government knew nothing about this. But she felt that she was slighted by him or tricked by him. But it really what triggered it was the relationship him having with the other woman.
I don't know about that.
And so in the process, she had told the government about some warehouse properties that he was bragging about. And when they went to those properties, they found hundreds of pounds of marijuana. So that's how he ended up getting the fraud charge and a drug charge of marijuana.
Oh, so they gave him a fraud charge for the house, too.
For the home, yeah, for the house.
Damn.
So
Now, according to Blue Da Vinci, I'm pretty sure he said he was still messing with her all the way up until like 2009. So she was messing with this Terry White and Blue Da Vinci.
This is why Terry White's name is in the paperwork, to explain that to your audience.
This call is from a
All right,
federal.
so there you have it. That was my video from 3 months ago. Cuffy talking about Tammy Cohen's, whatever, right? How he linked up with her, how he ended up in the situation with her, and how he ended up getting sent up the river by her, right? Now, it's already been proven, it's already been shown in the paperwork that she actually went and told Meech after she realized she was going to be implicated in the paperwork. That's when she went and said something to Meech. She drove all the way to see him in Louisiana, didn't get to see him, but still got to talk to him. That's why the conversation is in the paperwork. That's how we know he turned around and said, "I don't want my name in this shit." He had no choice. Like, he could have, if he never signed over his life rights to her earlier, years before, he could have just been like, "Okay, well, I don't know what the fuck you want from me. Get the fuck on. Peace." But at this time, she owned his life rights, because while he's locked up, he cannot earn any kind of money from his life rights, from the selling or producing of his life rights. There's some kind of law about that. Ted Bundy law or something like that. So he had to have somebody else do it for him. Now, at the same time, she was also a conduit for what he still had going on, because BMF didn't just stop when him and Terry got locked up in 2005. Matter of fact, some dudes just got indicted like a year or two ago, allegedly connected to BMF. I don't know. Meech did get Meech did get the fuck. Meech did keep getting busted with cell phones and kept getting sent to the hole. So I mean, I don't know. I'm just speculating there. So I don't know. So now we're gonna talk about Tanisha Welch, who was T's common law wife, whatever. But she owned the rights to his life story. And Tammy Cohen's finessed her out of those two after T linked the two up.
I don't know if you heard the story about Tammy Cohen.
I haven't.
Okay.
You can explain it.
I'm explaining the story. Tammy Cohen is now the executive producer of the BMF show, the BMF Star Show. She has Meech rights. I was doing this show, so when T was locked up, T asked me to call her. I blindly called her, and she just immediately went off on me. Like, what the hell? You know, I'm on probation. By this time, it was like 13, 14. And the next day after that conversation, I get called down to my probation officer. I'm looking at my young son because this has never happened to me. I've been on probation a couple of years now, like, what's going on? So I told my youngest son, when I called him, I said, hey, come over here. I got my probation officer calling me. I got to go turn myself in. Not turn myself in. I said, I got to go see her. And he said, what's going on? I said, I don't know. She told me she's giving me an hour to get there. I get down to my probation officer, my son in the car. I said, if I don't come out in a couple of hours, call the lawyer. I get in there. Tammy Cohen is a government informant. So she says, my probation officer is sitting there and some other guy.
Mind you, this interview was like 2 years ago.
I can't remember his name, but I just knew he was part of the DA. And he had that come in, I go in, I'm like, fuck. You know, this is everybody's nightmare. I already did my time. Only thing I wanted to come home and do is take care of myself, take care of my family, make amends for my mother, redeem myself through, the world, or anybody that I felt like I affected. So they told me, and he says, you know what this is about? And I said, no. He said, well, you threatened a government informant, and that's a federal offense, and plus it's a violation of your probation. And I said, well, who did I threaten? I don't know what you're talking about. So he go over the story. That conversation was about her. Yes, she's a government informant. Yes, she's been a government informant since 2008. Yes, she tried to get me locked back up. But before my attorney and my probation officer, they didn't lock me back up. But can you imagine the fear that my son had, my mother had, and my dying father had? Because anytime you're in prison, you always think, I just want to make it home to my parents, because my parents were older. Just want to make it home to my parents so I can make it right. But for somebody to take your freedom, because I vowed while I was sitting in prison that I vowed to be forgiving to anybody that I hurt, anybody that, got hurt in anything that I was doing. I vowed to give back. That's why I started Silent Heart, give back to the community, help the community. I vowed to help people who's locked up, for these unjust laws. I've helped people come home from prison. I helped 3 people come home from prison, working in prison reform. So when a person, just because you have that right, because you making money from the government, it ain't like me or like any other woman. I was in prison with 600 women at a time. I've heard multiple stories. I don't blame those women who got caught up and might have had to take the stand and tell and get a little time so they can run home to get to their kids. But when you have a woman that's like dirtball, piece of shit ass woman that sits there and make money from the government and say, oh, because I'm a government informant, I could take your fucking freedom away from you. Prison is like almost death. You can't go no farther down. It's prison, then it's dying, or it's dying and then prison. So when you do this kind of thing, you fuck up people's life. So when I had this show, here I go again, trying to help everybody around me. This happened. I had to walk away from that. I walked away from that. I had to walk away. My probation officer said, we're going to make a deal with you. We're going to investigate this, but you're going to have to walk away from anything that you got going on with them. So I walked away from, that was a way for me to take care of myself when I came home from prison. Struggle for years. Here it come before the BMF show come. Everybody going at my head. Tammy Cohen again started doing these interviews. I get a book deal. Here they come with this whole story again. What is this?
Okay, so that was Tanisha Welch. That was T's common law wife or whatever, but she owned the rights to his life story. And you see how Tammy Cohen played her out of those rights and had them signed over to her, actually. So she consolidated Meech's and T's rights and then turned around and did the show with 50. You know what I'm saying? Hey, at this time, she was a known rat. She was a known snitch when 50 started working with her. It was known. So if 50 wants to sit there and call Meech a rat for working with her, he's worked with her too. He's still working with her. Hell, he even put out a phone call that he just had with her, supposedly talking about Meech and exposing him or whatever. Pause. Whatever. I don't know. We're done with that though. We are done with that because I don't know how much longer we can keep showing y'all the actual proof to where the DEA is actually saying themselves that they wanted to take Meech down again with Cuffy and Suarez. This is coming from the DEA. And that Tammy was supposed to help them do that. But she reneged. All right? So all the rumors are in 50 and Whack 100 saying Meech snitch and all this kind of stuff. Now, who we should be looking at is probably Blue Da Vinci. Did you put Tammy on Meech to try to get out of what? How much time did he do? He only did like a year or something, though, right? And he actually took a deal. He actually had like a proffer or a safety valve or whatever they want to call that stuff. He actually cooperated. And he was the one that was supposedly in a relationship with Tammy, who is the paid DEA informant. So did he put her on Meech? That's what we should be asking. Now, let's get to let's get to the fun part. Let's get to the fun part. 50 Cent being all emotional because Big Meech took a picture and did some promo with Rick Ross and they're throwing a concert together and all this kind of crap. Whatever. Y'all do know. Y'all, you know what? We're just going to play this one part from the last video over again. And I even said in that last video, I don't understand what he was talking about, but I do now.
And I want y'all to understand this. It's only great entertainment when you forget it's entertainment.
Hey, somebody said he had a lace front beard. Hey, but did y'all hear what he said? He said, it's only great entertainment when you forget it's only entertainment. And I said, I didn't understand what he was talking about, what he meant by that. Hip Hop Buddha said, what the hell does he mean by that? Everybody said, what the hell does he mean by that? Well, what he meant by that, let's think about this. When 50 first came into the rap game, mainstream that is, what was his marketing tool? Beef. And it has always been beef since he came in. And it has worked well for him. It even worked so well that Eminem even tried it at one point with his beef with Moby and ICP. The Game always tries it, but he's corny, he's whack. Everybody knows that. Nobody believes the Game. All right? And he's still trying. Now, him and Ricky Ross, they troll each other back and forth, right? All the time. But usually, what do they do when they're trolling each other back and forth? Can y'all guess what it is? They promote their different businesses. Why? Because beef sells. Pause. Conflict sells. Conflict sells. That's why myself and everybody is doing stories or videos on 50 Cent versus Big Meech, because we know we're going to get views from this. Not to mention it's fun for us too. But we know we're going to get views from this because this is what sells. If this video would have been positive, it would have got no views. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. I was just showing my wife the other day. This video I have right here, it's a positive video. It got like 50 views. This video over here, negative, it's got people going back and forth, look like ghetto Jerry Springer, or even ghettoer Jerry Springer, and it's got thousands of views. I don't understand it. And the positive one was the better video, but the negative one get the more views. That's what's going on here. Guess what? They say in season 50 says season 4 BMF is canceled. Now I want y'all to think about this. Little Meech, 50 wanted him to have this role, but 50 couldn't just give him the role. He had to go to acting school and he had to actually audition and get the role. He didn't audition for 50 because 50 don't have the power to just give him that role, just like 50 don't have the power to just cancel the show. He's only the executive producer. He works for Starz. Starz has the power to cancel the show. And guess what? The new season has already been approved and filmed. They're promoting the new season, which is about to come out pretty soon. I guarantee it. That's why they're doing all the beef. This is going to be the final season. And I guarantee they are lining up to do a movie. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. They played us. They played us for attention and promotion, even though they ain't even really need to. It's going to be a season 4. It's going to be the final season. This is the season he going to St. Louis, right? This is the season he going to go meet them St. Louis boys, Cuffy and them, right? It's going to be the final season, and then it's going to be a movie following it up. They doing promotion. I guarantee 50 and Ricky Ross, they work together. They don't let us be known about it. I mean, hell, the only thing that happened was what? The one homeboy got jumped, what, like 15 years ago? That's it. Ain't nothing really happened between them two. Besides some rap beef and going back and forth on the internet. Other than that, they just promoting their own businesses. Just like in this response, he was promoting his car show coming up. Just like in the video with Big Meech, he was promoting their concert. Just like in 50's response, he was actually promoting the show. Think about it, y'all. It's all promo. It's all promo. It's your boy King Charm. Let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And let me tell some of y'all just like this. Hey, just because you're a fan of somebody does not mean you have to be a fan of that person. You can be a fan of their body of work. You can be a fan of their music. You can be a fan of their movies. Doesn't mean you have to like the person. And let it be. I'm gonna let this be known. Real niggas, they say real shit all the time. They're not yes men. Some of y'all are compromised because you're such a fan of 50. You can say, oh, you want to tell me, hey, you said he saved your life, which is a whole nother story. I'll get into that some other time. You said he saved your life and you're shitting on, but that does not give him a pass to do fuck shit. That does not mean I have to be a yes man to whatever he says and does if I disagree with it. I'm a real nigga. If 50 was sitting next to me right now, I would tell 50, like, I don't know, bro, that's not the ticket. Me and my best friend do that back and forth all the time with each other. If we're wrong about something, my best friend tells me I'm wrong. If I'm right, they tell me I'm right. And it's vice versa. Because we real about the shit. We're adults. Anyways, it's your boy, King Charm, out.